FM.
The time is 9 o'clock and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, and welcome to CHMA's local news at 106.9 FM and CHMAFM.com. We are broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes, on the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. I'm Theodore Ramarak. Today is Wednesday, July 29th. In the news today, Tantramar's pop-up program is making its way across the municipality this summer, with stops ranging from Midgik to Rockport. This Thursday, the program heads to Rockport Community Hall for a full day of organized games and activities for children and youth ages 6 to 15. The program runs from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with registration required through the municipality. The Municipality of Tantramar's Movie in the Park series continues this Thursday with a free outdoor showing of Wicked. The screening begins at 9 p.m. at Bill Johnston Memorial Park, with popcorn provided for attendees. The event is one of several free summer recreation programs being offered by the municipality. And now the Dirt Squirt softball team is stepping up to support first responders. And for one organizer, the cause, it's close to home. For one weekend in August, the Dirt Squirts won't be playing under their usual name. Instead, the Sackville softball team will take the field as the first base responders. In a charity softball tournament, organizer Brienne Whedon explains how the event works.
Playing in a softball tournament here in Sackville on August the 7th and 8th. The tournament is called Swinging in Support, where 10 teams are coming together to raise money for their own chosen cause that means something to them.
For Whedon and her teammates, deciding where those donations would go meant finding an organization they felt could make a real difference.
When our team decided we wanted to support an organization that helps first responders suffering with PTSD, we began researching organizations within Canada, specifically looking for Atlantic Canada. It was a tough choice to make as there's multiple great organizations, but in the end, we wanted to help a smaller organization so that our donation would make a greater impact.
The team chose Canine Therapy for First Responders, a New Brunswick organization that provides service dogs to first responders, Canadian Armed Force members, and veterans across Atlantic Canada. The team's fundraising goal is $2,000. For Whedon, though, the fundraiser is also personal. Her older brother has volunteered with Sackville Fire and Rescue for more than a decade. And growing up, she learned that emergencies don't wait for birthdays or family dinners.
This was years ago, so it would have been within the first few years that my brother was on Sackville Fire and Rescue. And we were all at my mom's house for his birthday. And she cooked a big birthday supper. And I remember we all lined up in the kitchen to start serving, and his pager went off, and he had to leave for a fire call. And then we all sat at my mom's table eating his birthday supper without him because he was gone for hours. And I just always remember that moment of being like, you don't get to choose when you go. This is your birthday supper. We're all here for you. And now we're sitting around a table eating it. And you're off protecting our community.
That moment changed the way she hears emergency sirens. Instead of wondering where they're going, she wonders who's inside.
Hear a siren, I'm just like, oh, is my brother there or is Jake there? You think of the people that you know and you think I hope they're safe and I hope everything's okay. So it definitely makes you feel deeper about it when you have people that you love that are a part of it.
Jake Jones is one of those people. He's an advanced care paramedic in Sackville and also plays on the first base responders softball team. Jones says the public often doesn't see everything first responders are expected to handle.
Realities of the job doesn't really translate over to kind of the public eye, much more than just ambulance drivers. And in a lot of cases, we, for lack of better terms, can bring the emergency department right to your living room, bedroom, bathroom, highway, in a ditch, wherever the patient might require EMS.
Repeated exposure to trauma can take a lasting toll. Jones says first responders can experience several traumatic events every month, far more than most people will encounter in a lifetime.
Statistically speaking, most people will witness like 2 to 4 traumatic events in their lifetime, whereas medics, in my case, and first responders on average will experience 3 to 5 per month. Obviously, this number can fluctuate depending on what's going on. As we were talking before, the average lifetime of somebody working in paramedicine right now is only about 5 years. So given that average that I mentioned before, even as a 5-year medic, on average, they will experience approximately 240 traumatic events in that 5-year span. This leads to 1 in 3 medics who will develop PTSD during their career, and that's just a general average.
Jones says organizations like Canine Therapy for First Responders gives people another option for support beyond traditional treatment.
It lets people know that there's options outside of the traditional pathway when it comes to mental health, where the canine therapy, it's a therapy that's ongoing in a sense where you're matched with a companion for a long term versus kind of like an appointment-based approach. Dogs have also been shown that they're able to pick up on subtleties and triggers that may go unnoticed by traditional methods. So dogs are with you so much more than simply that appointment-based treatment.
The Swinging and Support Tournament takes place August 7th and 8th in Sackville. For Whedon and her teammates, it's a chance to give back to the people who were there when their community needs them most. For CHMA, I'm Theodore Remerack.
Hello, this is Eric, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And here's your CHMA Atlantic update. The maritime provinces say they are exploring electricity cooperation through a new agreement aimed at improving reliability, lowering costs, and strengthening the regional power grid. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island are working with Natural Resources Canada to develop a regional roadmap examining power generation, transmission, and future energy needs. The review will also assess the benefits of joint planning, including the potential to establish a maritime independent electricity system operator. Officials say the work will identify ways to build a more resilient and efficient electricity system across the region. Nova Scotia RCMP are asking for the public's help as they continue investigating a homicide linked to several fires in Cape Breton. A man was found dead after a house fire in Upper Big Tracadie on May 31st, and the medical examiner later ruled the death a homicide. Investigators say they've carried out multiple searches, collected forensic evidence, and reviewed hours of surveillance video. Police are now seeking information from the public about a silver Hyundai Accent seen speeding in the area around the time of the incident. Atlantic Canada's police watchdog is adding its first Indigenous investigator following years of calls for stronger Indigenous representation in police oversight. The Serious Incident Response Team says the new position is designed to strengthen relationships with Indigenous communities and improve public confidence. The investigator will help support affected families, coordinate community outreach, and assist with major investigations. The move follows several fatal police encounters involving Indigenous people in New Brunswick, including the shooting death of Bronson Paul earlier this year. Newfoundland and Labrador is investing more than $9 million in municipal infrastructure projects through the Build Communities Strong Fund. The funding will support wet water, wastewater, and other essential upgrades in communities across the province, including culvert replacements in St. Mary's. Provincial officials say the projects are intended to improve public services, protect health, and strengthen aging infrastructure. The investments are being made through a cost-shared program with the federal government to help communities address long-term infrastructure needs. The Nova Scotia government is investing $4.5 million to expand the Lunenburg Daycare Centre and create 77 new childcare spaces. The project will add spaces for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers, boosting the center's capacity by nearly 70%. Provincial officials say the expansion is part of an ongoing effort to improve access to licensed childcare across Nova Scotia. Since 2021, the province says it has created more than 9,600 childcare spaces, with another 2,700 currently in development. Charlottetown is launching its expanded T3 transit service today in the PEI City's North End with 2 new routes. The new routes will serve Winslow, Hidden Valley, the Sherwood Industrial Area, and the Charlottetown Alexander B. Campbell Airport. The existing North Collector route is being split into 2 dedicated services to improve reliability and increase trip frequency for commuters and residents. City officials say the expansion supports Charlottetown's growing neighborhoods and advances the capital region's 10-year transit strategy. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic Update.
Hey, this is Claire, and my favorite artist is 17, and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now for the weather. Today, sunny in the morning and early in the afternoon, then a mix of sun and cloud with a 30% chance of showers late in the afternoon, fog patches dissipating in the morning with a high of 28 except 22 along parts of the coast, a humidex of 31 and a UV index of 8 or very high. At night, partly cloudy, 30% chance of showers early in the evening with fog patches developing overnight and a low of 16. On Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 25. At night, cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and a low of 15. On Friday, cloudy with a high of 21. At night, clear with a low of 14. On Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 23. At night, cloudy periods with a low of 15. On Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 26. At night, cloudy periods with a low of 17. Finally, on Monday, showers with a high of 23. And that has been the weather.
Hey y'all, it's Thor here from the chart-topping I Love Me podcast. And don't forget you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
Last night, 5 games in the return of the WNBA, the Washington Mystics with the 82-94 victory over the Connecticut Sun. It was the Minnesota Lynx with the 193 victory over Canada's own Toronto Tempo. Fever defeat the Storm, 105-95 victory in that one. It was the Las Vegas Aces by 15 over the busy Portland Fire. And in the most competitive one of the evening, the New York Liberty hold on to defeat the LA Sparks out in California, 113-109. Last night in Major League Baseball, it was a walk-off sacrifice fly for Xander Bogaerts, and your San Diego Padres defeat the Colorado Rockies at Petco Park 8-7. Troy Melton, he delivered a gem against the Baltimore Orioles. Tigers shut out the Orioles 14-0. It took 12 innings for the D-backs to get past Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. 8-7 final there. Rangers 4-1 victors over the Rays at the Trop. Marlins, they only score a first inning home run from Kyle Stowers, and that was enough to beat the visiting Philadelphia Phillies with 1-0 final there. Nationals, they hold on to defeat the Toronto Blue Jays at home, 8-6 final there. And then a whole bunch of one-run games saw the Twins defeat the Royals 3-2. The Yankees defeat the White Sox 3-2. The Astros defeat the Angels 3-2. The Mariners defeat the Dodgers 7-6. The Athletics defeat the Red Sox 4-3, and in some wider margins of victory, it was an 8-2 W for the Brewers over the Giants in the Bay Area. Cubs with a 10-2 victory over the Cardinals, and in a doubleheader in the Ohio Cup, it was the Guardians beating the Reds 6-5 in the early one, and the Reds getting their revenge in the nightcap 2-0 final there. And finally, in New Brunswick Senior Men's Baseball League action, the Moncton Mets can't get enough runs despite scoring 10 against the Fredericton Royals. Royals win 15-10 against the Mets. And it was the Chatham Ironmen squeaking out the one-run victory over the Charlottetown Islanders 11 to 10.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hello, my name is Tessa. My favorite artist is Greta Van Fleet, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, the voice of the marshes. Hi, my name is Tessa Carroll, host of Mixtape Sessions every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m., and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, the voice of the marshes.
And now for what's happening in your community. If you're looking for a fun evening event for the entire family, look no further. Coming at you this summer is Chocolate Bar Bingo, a great chance to get out of the house and, if you're lucky, win a sweet treat. One chocolate bar gets you one bingo card, but the more you bring, the more cards you get, up to 3. This event will be on July 28th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Tantramar Veterans Memorial Civic Center, specifically upstairs. No registration is required. This is Chocolate Bar Bingo on July 28th. If you're looking for a low-stakes community environment to enjoy some treats and warm beverages, then Nursing Home Without Walls Tantramar is excited to announce their weekly tea and talks. These events invite those 60 and up to visit Cafe Tantramar on 34 Mallard Drive for a calm, refreshing snack in the afternoon. Tea and talks are every Thursday and are currently running as of July 23rd. Outside and indoor seating are available for everyone who visits between 2:30 p.m. and 3:45 p.m. Join Tantramar ALC on July 30th at 9 p.m. under the stars for a movie in the park. Bring your blankets and lawn chairs and enjoy a free outdoor screening of 2024's Wicked, with popcorn provided. The first part of the film adaptation of the Broadway musical follows Elphaba and Glinda's time at Shiz University and the beginnings of their complicated friendship in Oz. This is a free event taking place at the Bill Johnston Memorial Park on July 30th at 9 p.m. Bring your family and friends to Bill Johnston Memorial Park on Monday, August 3rd from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for an afternoon of community fun and celebration. New Brunswick Day will be celebrated in Tantramar with a variety of activities and treats, including shaved ice, mini donuts, community barbecue, a dunk tank, live music, and so much more. Whether you're stopping by for lunch, enjoying the live entertainment, or taking part in the activities, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Once again, this is on August 3rd from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Bill Johnston Memorial Park. Don't miss out on celebrating New Brunswick Day. And that's what's happening in your community.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
Whether you're heading to work, getting off a shift, or waking up in the morning, you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, voice of the marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and this is the Late Morning Show. Today is Wednesday, July 29th. I hope you guys are having a great morning so far. And we're going to go ahead and get into some music. First up, we have Alicia Biro with Running From Nothing, and then we're going to hear from Jerry Paper with Souvenir. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the music.
Take air in deep, live inside your body. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing, babe. You'll never know the way that the future sings. You'll never know the world that tomorrow brings. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing, babe. We'll love endlessly, trade our souls tenderly, shoulders release tension softly returning to me. I'll stand between. You're floating through the sky at a great big rock. You'll never know the day that your heartbeat stops. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing, babe. You'll never know the way that the future sings. You'll never know the world that tomorrow brings. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing, babe. You're floating through the sky at a great big rock. You'll never know the day that your heartbeat stops. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing, babe. You'll never know the way that the future sings. You'll never know the world that tomorrow brings. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing, babe. You're floating through the sky at a great big rock. You'll never know the day that your heartbeat stops. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing, babe. You'll never know the way that the future sings. You'll never know the world that tomorrow brings. You're running from nothing, babe. You're running from nothing.
That was Jerry Paper with Souvenir on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, voice of the marshes. I'm Maya, and you're listening to The Late Morning Show, and we also heard Running From Nothing by Alicia Biro. Next up, we have Parquet with Every Day I Run Up, and then we're also going to hear from Julia Cumming with My Life. Let's go.
Being thirsty, it makes me feel grateful for living here. Every day I do this 10 times or more. The bank's right out my door. It makes me feel thankful. Donated all this land for being thirsty. Who drew the survey plan? It makes me feel grateful. Who even is that for living here? Not a name for the shore. Every day